When it comes to collectors figuring out what statues they're going to purchase and put on display, there are four types of collectors. Collector number one, they buy their favorite characters. Collector number two, they buy their favorite lines or groups of characters. Collector number three, they buy a little of this and a little of that. I used to be collector number four. They buy absolutely anything. And the truth is, other than number four, there's no wrong way to do it. I keep telling my wife that. She disagrees. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the Extreme Channel. We're doing another countdown today. It's about collecting and statues. In other news, water is wet. So, I was really thinking about it. I'm the type of collector that was more in group number two. I like to collect a line of statues I like. It doesn't necessarily have to complete, but I usually go all out. And if you watch the channel before, you always see this huge X-Men display behind me. And you know, last year I did a room tour right here. You can check it out. And it kind of categorizes or groups my statues. I have a whole throne display. I have a Venom display. I have a DCIII display. Now, I was really thinking about it from an objective standpoint, so not necessarily just my opinion. What is the best opportunity for a collector? If you want to collect an entire line, what's the best line to collect? Now, years ago, I did this video talking about the ones that I actually own. Like, hey, this is my favorite collection. And honestly, I don't even remember. I'm guessing X-Men were probably near the top. But from an objective standpoint, based off of cool pieces, availability, how they're displayed, how they look, I thought, you know, what's the 10 best lines or groups of statues if you want to get into collecting that you should go into? And I thought of a list and they're ranked 10 to number 1. That's what we're going to talk about today. Again, while I try to be objective as possible, there is obviously some subjectivity and opinions in this. What I'd like you guys to do is throw down your opinion in the comments below. What is the best group or line of statues to collect out there? And there can be a lot of different reasons why you decide that. So throw that down there as well. The reason I asked you to comment, I love to interact with you guys, read everyone else's comment, and that comment could win you a statue. As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you wanna make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are. Post-edit honorable mention is Star Wars collectibles. So the great thing about this is they're in every single scale. I currently own 2 or 3. I have 2 life-size and 1/4 scale Wampa, but this is a great line to collect, especially if you love the movies. All right, number 10 is a collection I've actually owned probably about 50 or more of these. It's life-size busts. Now this can encompass quite a few things. First of all, there's ones that are based off of actual people, like true movie characters, such as Michael Keaton as Batman or Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. They could be comic-based. They could be totally fictional characters off of a video game or a horror movie. They could be creatures. They can be silicone, polystone. They can be made with arms. They could be made without arms. Now, the reason these are so low on my list is, honestly, it's just weird. So having owned 50, and I think I have 7 or 8, one display that you've probably seen before, it's DCU pieces. And honestly, I'm thinking about selling them in the next few months. It's just weird having half a person. Now, the advantage of these is that you actually have some incredible detail. And some of these busts, especially if they're based off people, have one of the best likeness you can find. So they come in at number 10. Number 9 is Avengers statues, specifically in quarter scale, so 1/4 scale. And there's 2 different types here. One, you can get comic based, or 2, you can get MCU based. I once had an entire MCU line that I got rid of. In fact, the only Avengers statues I have per se would be some Hulk statues, and then my throne collection, and of course, XM Studios Hulkbuster. And all the ones I have, for the most part, are comic based. But Avengers, there's so many different storylines that could actually fit into there. One could argue even Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four fit in there a little bit, which aren't actually on my list, believe it or not. So you can really tell this is objective, knowing that I absolutely love Silver Surfer. That's one of my favorite statues, one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite characters. Number 8, I just mentioned Throne statues. Throne statues were all the rage about 4 years ago, and people couldn't get enough of them, and there were a lot of collectors out there like myself that just wanted an entire throne wall. This is still one of my favorites, and I think this is really cool because you can get characters from different universes, you can get characters all from the same universe, and just having all these badass people sitting back, generally in victory, is a really cool display to put together. And with thrones too, I think quarter scale is the absolute best, frankly because that's where you have your most options. Next one is creatures. So what do you mean by creatures, Mr. X? So they don't fall into really horror or specific to a movie necessarily. For example, ECC's latest Unkillable bust, that would be a creature to me. Just something weird and crazy. So while a lot of these have kind of a horror feeling to them, and I think any scale would be good with these. Just have a huge collection of creatures, because let's be honest, they make some incredible off-the-wall stuff that's not even related to a movie. Number 6 is one that I have a little bit of a display of, is Aliens and Predator. You know, Alien and Predator are super cool creatures, and not only that, but some of the best statues out there are Alien and Predator, specifically by Prime 1 Studio, but there's some other studios out there that make excellent ones as well. And over time, I probably owned about 15 of those, and I can definitely say that's a very cool line to collect. Also, because you have so many different options. There's not only movie-based stuff, but comic-based stuff, different scales. AVP comes in at number 6. Number 5 is classic horror icons. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so you have everything from like Jason and Freddy, Michael Myers. I think some truly classic horror icons. You have Pennywise, the movies that just freaked us out growing up. And these are offered again in many scales. You can get them in quarter scale, 1/3 scale, life-size busts. Horror icons are definitely a way to go. And there are some people out there that their entire collection is horror, and it's pretty badass. Number 4, in my opinion, is DC 1/3. And I picked this for 2 reasons. Number 1, quantity. There are so many options to choose from for the most part. There's a few obscure characters they still haven't done like Riddler, but you have 200 Batmans to choose from, different iterations, Dark Knight Metal lines, Rogues Gallery, Justice League. So DC 1/3 I think is one of the best lines you can get into because usually the quality is pretty good too. Number 3, Berserk statues. Prime 1 Studio seems to be the leader with quarter scale Berserk statues, and they have a ton of them, all the different characters, different iterations. They have 1/6 dios, they have 1/3 scale, and then you have a few other studios as well doing them, but I don't think they compete well with Prime 1. So I'd almost say exclusively if you're going to go Berserk, go Prime 1. But the characters themselves and the statues not only tell the story so well, but they're amazingly done. So in my opinion, Berserk line is one of the top ones to collect. And if you're not into Berserk yet, get into it. It's pretty damn cool. So now we're down to 2. And obviously I haven't talked about the X-Men yet. X-Men is one of them. Quarter scale specifically. And the reason why I chose that is not only does X-Men have so many cool characters, you can even put in like the Brotherhood, the enemies, Magneto and Toad and Juggernaut. But you have so many different options from licensed and custom companies. We all know there's about 200 different Wolverine statues. There's like 20 Rogue statues, Cyclops, Storm, Nightcrawler. And most are done pretty well. That's the cool thing. You can have them fighting Sentinels. You can have them in the Danger Room. You can have them just museum style. So many different options of so many different great characters is what makes X-Men number 2 in my opinion. Number 1, I think this is the best to collect. And it's the most expensive. True life-size pieces. These look amazing when you see them in person, especially when you have an entire row of them or an entire room. Granted, I don't have that. I only have 3 life-size pieces with 2 more on order, but these to me are absolutely amazing. So I don't mean busts, I mean but the entire head to foot, bases, everything. Life-size pieces that's truly like a museum in my opinion. And anyone that comes to visit me, of course those pieces blow them away. They skip everything else, they go right to those. They're even behind me. I'm looking straight at you, but I'm looking at them. They're so cool, without a doubt. Again, what do you think? Throw that down in the comments below. But more importantly, if you guys could do me one favor, just hit that like button. It helps a lot. I really appreciate it too. Why did I stutter? Again, thank you for joining me for another top 10 countdown. It's the final countdown. This is why I'm a YouTuber. I don't have a singing career. Take care, everybody.